afros, cotton fields, barbecue, and Jim Crow. What do these things have in common other than being associated with the South? These things helped to mold me into the woman I am today and shaped some of my better traits. My name is Alberta, and I would like to tell you a little about myself. The lessons I learned growing up during my childhood helped to mold me into the woman I am today. Cotton fields and Jim Crow, you might say? A lot of us, when we hear these things, it has a negative connotation. But growing up, chopping cotton in the hot sun and sweating, I learned that if you can endure in a cotton field, you can endure just about anything. The long hours and the heat, I learned the importance of education. I learned to work smarter, not harder. And I learned to complete a job. Because when you start out in that field, you have to get from one end to the other. There's no sitting down and there's no breaks. So I learned to complete a job, no matter how tough or how long or how boring it is. Once you start something, you learn to complete it. So in that cotton field, I learned to be tenacious. Jim Crow. Jim Crow taught me to be polite. My parents grew up in Mississippi. In order to survive, they had to live by a certain code. And that code, you had to be polite. And by them growing up that way, it was ingrained into me to be polite. It was ingrained to my psyche, into the psyche of me and my siblings, or my siblings and I. We were taught to be polite. We were taught to be thoughtful. We were taught to think before we spoke, and to know that every action has a reaction. I learned from Jim Crow, I learned respect. I learned thoughtfulness. The turbulent 60s and 70s. When I came of age in those decades, the afro was the hairstyle and the badge that every black boy or girl wanted to have. We wore our afros proudly because we wanted the world to know. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. I was no longer tied by the vines of my mom and dad. My hair was natural, and I was free to make my own choices. I was free to be independent. That afro taught me how to be my own thinker, to be independent. Now looking at me, barbecue, you might say, that one you would understand. But it's really not the verb that I'm thinking of. It's the noun, barbecue. Because every year we have a family barbecue. And we reconnect with family, we meet new members, and we remember old times. And we realize how great we are and how far we've come as a people and as a family. We share a history, and we share a love that binds. It binds us together with love. So from those barbecues, I learned about love, and I learned how important family is. Cotton afros, barbecues, and Jim Crow. To me, those things equal tenacity, independence, family and love, and respect. When I pass a cotton field or smell charcoal from a barbecue grill, I just smile and feel thankful that all those things made me who I am. Tenacious, strong, independent, proud, and thankful.
It's still recording.